Silverback gorilla, grizzly bear.
I'm gonna have to go with the silverback gorilla on this one. I'm gonna go with the grizzly bear, man. I don't know, you know, I don't know about that.
Those claws.
I don't know, man. That's the
gorilla,
gorilla, man. I think he's just gonna. Nah, man, grizzly bear.
Why?
Grizzly bear all the way. The claws are sharp. And gorillas are strong, but I'm from Canada, so I have to support the Canada.
Not even close. It's a grizzly bear.
Gorilla or a bear?
Gorilla.
I had to choose one. I'll choose me. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm being honest, like
I'll allow it.
you see me, I guess a gorilla or a bear. Make sure you help them. Don't help me.
I like the gorilla to win because the gorilla, like, they be slamming this shit.
Who wins in a fight? Silverback gorilla, grizzly bear. I'm going with the bear for sure.
Or a grizzly bear?
Gorilla, easy.
Grizzly bear.
Gotta go with grizzly bear, man. Do you realize how big their claws are? It's gonna shred the gorilla apart.
Gorilla or grizzly bear? Silverback. Did you not watch King Kong?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Despite what everybody says, it's the grizzly bear, 100%, for this one reason alone.
Seatbelts, everyone!
They are hunters and they are killers. And silverback gorillas they eat berries. You know, they're strong. I think I don't know exactly what the stat is, but it is, they just don't have that killer instinct like grizzly bears do, and that's what they do. So, case closed.
So, gorilla eats berries. Advantage grizzly bear. That's what we got out of all that stuff. There's only one guy that can break the tie, and we appreciate Syracuse doing that for us. Let's head up to Central New York. The head football coach of the Syracuse Orange, the one and only Dino Babers, joins us. All right, Coach, those are your guys. They're breaking it down. I know you're worried about Malik Cunningham and all their weapons, but you got to break the tie before we get to football. You going gorilla? You going grizzly on that one?
There is no tie. The quarterback made the call. You can go Kodiak bear, grizzly bear, but do not go with the ape. You will not win.
All right, enough said. All right, let's get serious now. Right out of the gate, you're not messing around. You're kind of getting used to these ACC openers to kick off the season. Do you like that vibe? Do you like the fact that, hey, right out of the gate, there's no roast beef A&M? Man, this one really counts. Do you like it or not?
Mark, I'm starting to like the ACC. Every year, you guys get me deeper and deeper in the good book, reading my devotional, getting me in my spiritual, I'm telling you what, boy, North Carolina, the Central, the whole, I love the ACC. We've never opened up with a conference game before. Well, since we haven't, let's go ahead and do that this year. And, you know, it's going to be exciting. It's different. I've never had a situation where, you know, it's one game, but as I told the media up here, it's one game, but it's one conference game. So it has a little bit more weight than just a single game. It'll be interesting. It'll be the first time that, you know, I think Coach Satterfield's been up here. I believe that Malik's been up here before as a freshman. I believe that's true. But, you know, the dome is different. It's not like what it was the last time Louisville was up here when we didn't have any air conditioning and it was stuffy in there like the old Boston Garden and people couldn't breathe in the third and fourth quarter. Now there's air conditioning and donuts and soda pop and, you know, Gatorade for everyone, you know, ice cream Gatorade. So it's a really pleasant place to play, and we're looking forward to seeing them up here.
We'll see if it's so pleasant after Louisville leaves. They might not feel the same way. Coach, you mentioned opening up your devotional, maybe meditating a little bit before this game. It's an 8 p.m. kickoff, an ACC matchup. What do you do leading up to a day? I have to imagine you have some quirks for yourself that you got into a routine that you have to do on game day, especially when it's a late kick like that.
Yeah, when I get a late kick like that, first of all, I've got to sleep all day. I've got to drink tremendous amounts of coffee so that I don't sleep past the second half when we come in. I'm traditionally down and out by 9:30 p.m. or heading that way, and I would imagine that we're halfway getting into what in the heck we'll be getting into by that time. So if we can get that thing over, I mean, they like to run the ball a little bit. We like to run the ball a little bit, get the TV commercials in there early, and let's see if we can get that game closed up a little bit early and everybody can get to bed.
Coach, speaking of running the ball, earlier this week you said Malik Cunningham is special. He's one of the best players on the football field. How do you take that into account when game planning for Malik Cunningham going into this game?
Well, you have to game plan for him because he touches the ball every snap. Yeah. I mean, he's either going to throw for a touchdown, run for a touchdown, or hand the ball off to someone for a touchdown. So you have to game plan for him every snap. He's a fabulous player. You know, everybody in the league knows that, and I'm gonna take this moment right now I've heard there's some things going on that my Mike linebacker, Mikhail Jones said some things, and he's had it up in front of his locker. I went back and checked the ACC media day. I saw how the Louisville guy took out the 1-inch clip and not the entire sentence about what Mikhail said. But the bottom line is Malik's a fantastic player. If you have you're not going to have an opportunity to beat that football team if you don't find a way to some kind of way let him have not such a great day.
Yeah.
Coach, everybody, again, is excited for week 1 because you get a chance to see everything, and your game is so important because it's a conference game. There's always new faces with the transfer portal. Every team's a new deal, but you also have a new staff. What can you tell fans, whether it be Syracuse fans or ACC fans, about the changes you've made with your staff heading into 22?
Well, the biggest thing is it's the I will say the most mature staff I've ever had. I mean, these guys are professionals. A lot of them have been in the pros, or they've had extinguished long college careers where you can go back and these guys are consistently good, not occasionally great. And when you're in meetings with them, it's quick, it's sharp. There's not a lot of bologna cheese going around, if you're with me, Mark. Yeah. And we get straight to business, and that's kind of how practice has been. That's how two-a-days have been. And I think the team has appreciated that. It'll be interesting to see how it shows up, or what shows up Saturday night.
You talk about new faces, but a returning face is Garrett Schroeder, your quarterback. He says this is the most excited he's ever been to play college football. What differences have you seen in him? And with the new faces, a new offensive coordinator in Robert and I. So what do you expect to see different with Schroeder and the growth that he's made, that he's saying, hey, this is the most fun I've ever had, most excited I've been to play a season?
Well, I'm glad he's so excited. No, I'm just kidding. No, here's the biggest thing. He knows he's got a decent football team around him. And, we still think that our defense is a fabulous defense. We have not had success with the opponent that we're about to play. There's no doubt about that, except for the 1 year that we got him up here, and that was a totally different crew and a different situation where Malik didn't play that much. But we've got a fantastic defense. Schroeder's legs are amazing. We feel that he's much improved in the throwing game. He doesn't have to run the ball alone. I think there's a guy by the name of Sean Tucker that's willing to help him. And we're at home. So that's a lot better than the last 3 years when we were down there playing at Louisville, late in the season. We're healthy, but unfortunately they're totally healthy too. So we've always wanted to know what would happen if we ever got them at the front of the season. And I think they're going to come up here and it's going to be a football game.
A quick off-base question, Coach. You obviously trust your quarterback, Garrett Schroeder. Would you trust him to fly you in a plane if he asked you to go? I know he's a pilot.
Watch this. When I'm in a plane, it doesn't matter whether Garrett Schroeder is the pilot or somebody else. That's not who my trust is with.
Well, there you go.
That's fair.
There you go.
That's fair.
Correct answer.
Hey, great answer, Coach. I like that answer. Coach, you talk about your defense. You got guys like Michael Jones that the people know about, Deuce Chestnut. Going into this game, can you give me another name that we're looking at to set the tone of this and be that name that pops to us that helps you win this game?
Now, see, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Come on, just give me one.
This is what I'll say. Let me do it a different way. Way. Okay, I think the back end is as deep as it's ever been. Yes. I think we could play. And when I say back end, I mean the safeties and the corners. I think we've got 6 to 7 guys that we could play. And even to a point where if somebody's playing a bad game, that's okay. Don't freak out. Come on out. And let's put the other guy in there. I think we're that deep. The 3 linebackers are no joke. Okay, 3 and 2 and 7, no joke. I mean, those guys can play with anybody. And the front 4 is young. Hey, I can't get away from it. I can't make them older. But like I've said before, I mean, I think they're young. We've got a whole bunch of them, and they got crazy in their eyes. They got that look. You guys know what that look is. I'm too old. That look's long been gone out of my eye. But they got crazy in their eyes, and sometimes that's really good. Sometimes they don't know what they're about to do, and they just do it anyway because they're young. So hopefully that'll be good for us and not bad.
Coach, what was the one thing that you saw in fall camp that impressed you the most versus the beginning of August, and today's the last day of August, that you said, hey, you know what, we've really made some advancements, at least in practice, and we'll find out Saturday night when it counts. But what jumps out on you in terms of your football team in the month of August?
How close we are. And when you go through camp, that's the long grind, man. You're just, golly, every day is the same. Why keep hitting my buddy? All of a sudden, you get that little spat, big brothers after little brother, little brothers after big brother, but they can't leave any marks, but they're supposed to be fighting, but they're not allowed to leave any marks because mom and dad will go off if there's something wrong with little brother's eye or big brother's lip. So, we had some disagreements on the football field, but it didn't carry to the locker room, and I think that's made us different. A lot different than some other teams that we've had here. And it'll be interesting to see how that shows up on the football field Saturday at 8 o'clock.
Coach, this is your 7th year at Syracuse. And I know that the only thing you're worried about is, number one, your team taking care of business, and, of course, Malik Cunningham, because he's a nightmare for everybody. But have you ever seen a conference as good as this one as far as what you're going to have to see in the Atlantic Division with quarterbacks and whatever you get on the cross-reference? I mean, this league, from a quarterback perspective, if you're a defensive coordinator, man, there are going to be a lot of sleepless nights for the next couple months for everybody in this conference.
This is a fabulous league when it comes to the quarterback. And Mark, you know this. I mean, I joke about the ACC, but that's all in fun. I think the coaches in this league do not get their due. I mean, from top to bottom. We all know who the top horses are, but you constantly see those guys where everybody thinks they're going to go undefeated, and all of a sudden they get knocked off by who? Are you kidding me? Where at? And it happens year after year after year. It keeps popping up because I just think the other coaches are really, really good. They know what they have. They know what they don't have. And they're way smart enough to make sure they play to their strengths and stay away from their weaknesses. So I think so much, I give so much, respect to the coaches and to the players. And I do think that this may be the quarterback league out of the Power Fives in the country right now.
It is a quarterback league, but there are some great running backs. One which you have led the ACC in rushing last year is Sean Tucker. And I know we've kind of gone this whole time without really asking about him yet. But one thing I do know about him is this spring he ran track, which is something he also did in high school. Have you seen a change in him over fall camp because of track? And how does he even take his game to the next level? I know people are talking about potential Heisman, but to really insert himself in that conversation and to bring you guys a step further.
You're talking about a young man that gave up his Christmas, and he actually stayed here and ran track and lifted weights throughout Christmas. And when he was running track, it wasn't like, oh, he just left the football part of it and ran track. That's running track on top of the football. That was track weight room and football weight room. That's not missing a single practice of spring ball. He literally did both sports at the exact same time and never missed an appointment, never missed a break, and then was constantly in the weight room and in other areas doing more, giving up his vacation time, giving up his family time for his goal and his process of achievement. And all I can say to you is he's better, and that's being extremely humble.
That's what you want out of leaders, Coach. When you're talking about leading the way. You and the team named 7 captains this season. Can you walk us through that process of, putting that C on your chest and giving the guys that role?
We traditionally have gone, we have every senior gets an opportunity to be a captain, and then as everybody gets an opportunity, the team would pick 3 captains, and they would be our permanent captains that, go up on our wall. We have a captain wall here. But this team is different. We just had, with the COVID years and some older guys being on the team, you just needed to be able to spread out the opportunity. And it was such a fantastic summer for the team. And I could tell it was going to be a summer that was really going to have some meaning, that we voted for captains after spring ball. So we voted for 3 team captains after spring ball. After that vote, I let the team know that we would vote again for 3 more at the end of August ball. Okay, who deserved it over the summer? Who deserved it during, I keep wanting to say 2-a-days, but that just shows my age. Who deserved it after the 1-a-days? And when the team came back with that second vote at the end of August, they had 4 very strong individuals. Offense only votes for offense, defense only votes for defense, special teams gets to vote for offense, and defense gets to vote for special teams. But they just had 4 individuals that were so far out with the amount of votes, but it didn't seem right to choose. So I said, what's the difference between 6 and 7? 1? Okay, well, we're going to do 1 more, and we did 7. Plus, I think that number has some spiritual background behind it. So we're going to go with him. We're going to go with the guy upstairs. Instead of doing that 6, I won't even go there. We went with the 7, which is strong in the Bible book.
I like it. I like it.
Coach, I'm going to take a page out of Sean Tucker's book. We are pleased with your performance today, and I wish you nothing but the best coming up on Saturday night and all season long. And listen, stay healthy, all right? That's the key with all this good stuff. And just we always appreciate your time on the show.
Mark, you look great. Taylor, Florida State. Okay, well, that's all right. And Trey, North Carolina.
Come
you
on.
know what? I'll say this. I think you guys have a really, really nice color uniform. I will say that.
That means a lot. I got a compliment.
More than I got.
I got a compliment.
More than I got.
I'm sticking with that. Dino gave me a compliment. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. I am pleased in that performance.
We're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it on a positive note, Coach. Go get him. We appreciate the time, man. Be good. See you.
All right, you guys have a great one. Bye-bye.
You got it. There's
Thanks,
Dino
Coach.
Babers, the head football coach at Syracuse, again, right here on ACC Network Saturday night.
Nice.
Louisville and Cuse should be a good one there. Also be rocking. There's no doubt. It's a big deal. Quick break. We come back. Our man Trey over here. We'll break down some tapes now. We're going to take a little deeper dive. The game within the game. Getting you ready for 5 consecutive nights of ACC football, which starts tomorrow night. I'm doing tapes with Trey coming up next right here on PM on ACC Network.